Welcome to Clark University 2026 Commencement. This ceremony will begin shortly. We ask that you please take your seats and silence your phones. This is a very special day for our graduates and guests. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for your cooperation in making this a joyous celebration. At the conclusion of the ceremony, please exit the arena to meet the graduates outside of the DCU Center. And let's begin. Let's begin. Woo! All right. So please be seated. As we get started with our program, I'd like to share a reminder that we are here to celebrate our outstanding graduates and all that they have accomplished. There's so much to be proud of. Please, let's keep the focus on them. Please be mindful that each student and their guests deserve to hear their name called while walking across the stage. Please hold applause until all students have crossed the stage. Thank you.
Good morning, graduates. Good morning, families, faculty, administration, staff, and friends. From one Clarkie to another, let me be among the first to applaud you on earning your degree. It is a privilege to stand with you today on behalf of Clark's Board of Trustees. Commencement is one of life's important rites of passage, a pause to recognize achievements, and a step forward into a world that very much needs the skills that you've developed here at Clark. Clark University holds a very distinctive place in higher education. We are proudly and intentionally a liberal arts college and a research university. And no matter your path here, you've been touched by both. This is not just a structural feature of the institution, it is a philosophy. It means that you've been asked not only to learn what is known, but to question it. Not only to master disciplines, but to connect them. And not only to absorb knowledge, but to create it. This way of thinking and acting is not abstract. It is exactly what this moment calls for. The world you're stepping into is shifting quickly and in ways that are not always easy to grasp. It's impossible to go very long without encountering artificial intelligence. And I'm here to make sure that today is no different. In my work in finance, in my work with Clark, and even around the dinner table, the same questions surface. What will AI change? What will it mean for me and how I work and how I live? Many of you may be asking similar questions as you look ahead, and at times the answers can feel uncertain and even intimidating. There's a temptation to focus on what AI can do better than humans. But I think more useful questions include, what can I do that AI cannot? And how I can harness its power to maximize my impact. Clark's blend of liberal arts and research has prepared you not just to use these new tools, but to think critically about them, to apply them with judgment, creativity, and purpose. 3 human qualities will matter no matter what technological advances bring. First, intellectual curiosity, a willingness to keep learning, to question the initial answers, to engage with ideas and perspectives different from your own. You understand that real learning is not instantaneous or effortless, and it's definitely not just a prompt. It is often challenging, sometimes messy, and always valuable. Second, effective communication. The ability to express ideas clearly, to listen carefully, to engage with others in meaningful dialogue. These human connections, built through conversation, debate, and shared understanding, they're not easily replicated. And third, adaptability. The capacity to assess a changing environment, to consider new possibilities, and to adjust your course thoughtfully. In a world of rapid change, it's not just useful, it's essential. Together, these qualities build resilience, an enduring foundation for both personal and professional success. As you leave Clark, you carry with you not just a degree, but a way of thinking and engaging with the world. Our hope, indeed our confidence, is that you will use your education not only to succeed, but to contribute, to lead with purpose, to ask better questions, to build, to challenge conventions, and to care. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations to each of you and those who supported you along the way. We're proud of you, we're excited for you, and we'll be watching with great anticipation to what you do next. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Commencement Day. Thank you all. Thank you, Chairman DiNicola. Thank you to all those watching this live stream from around the globe. Welcome. Today is the 121st time in 139 years that Clark University has held formal commencement exercises. Today, we recognize one graduating class, the class of 2026. We recognize one graduating class, but we celebrate with each undergraduate degree we award 612 individuals and the unique paths, passions, and pursuits to this point. So much precedes this day, and so much, of course, will follow it. But for now, for this day, smile upon yourself, applaud your achievements, reflect upon your growth, celebrate your friendships and classmates, and perhaps, most importantly, bask in the love of those who are here for you and with you. All of us up here representing the trustees, administration, the faculty, staff, alumni are so proud of you, especially for overcoming all that you have had to over the past 4 years. We smile upon you. We applaud you. We celebrate you, and we thank you for sharing these years with us. When you began at Clark, I urged you to be as engaged as possible during your time here. I urged you to take an active role in shaping your education. I urged you to think of yourself not just as a student, but also as a teacher yourself, sharing your own life experiences, perspectives, and ideas with others, and learning just as much from them in return. I'm going to give you some of the same encouragement today. The world needs you to be engaged. The world needs you to take an active role in citizenship. The world needs you to exhibit the value of higher education, to exercise principles of free expression, to believe in the progress of ideas, and to defend democracy and individual rights, even and especially when doing so requires listening across deep differences. Let the skills you've developed by being so engaged at Clark, critical thinking, resourcefulness, resiliency, confidence in your voice, bridging difference through dialogue, and more, now help you to be the global citizens and leaders we need to be deeply and thoughtfully and passionately engaged in the challenges and opportunities before us. And to the families and friends and loved ones who helped make this moment possible, thank you for sharing your pride with us today. It is now my great privilege and honor to formally begin these exercises. If anyone has received a Clark degree before, you know what comes next. This is the most critical part of this day. If we don't do this next part well, nothing else is going to go right today. Okay? So when I make a simple declaration in a moment, I need from everyone in this space your best, loudest Cougar roar. Now, seriously, this is really, really important. I don't want like a little wimpy woo. We need a full-throated, guttural roar for two reasons. One, we need the city of Worcester to know that Clark is in the house. And two, if they do not hear us back on campus, they will not send the diplomas down. And nobody wants to leave without their diploma today. So are we ready? All right. As the 10th president of Clark University, I declare these ceremonies open. So the second piece of opening the ceremonies is to address one of the great mysteries of the day. And that's evidently Clark's color is red. So why am I wearing green? First, we teach Clarkies to be precise in language. This is not red, this is scarlet. And the trustees and I are not wearing green, we're wearing emerald, of course. And the reason for this is that when Clark University was founded, the original color was emerald. And then when the college was founded in 1902, the college adopted scarlet as its color. And the university has continued to live and celebrate both colors. So everything related to undergraduates you'll see today, including diploma cases, scarlet. And for graduate students, it will be emerald. Now that that's cleared up, we can proceed with the rest of the ceremony. It is my great pleasure to welcome to the podium Clark University's Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost, John McGee.
Thank you, David. Good morning. In a moment, we will begin the awarding of degrees for our honorary degree recipient and her commencement address. Following that, we will hear remarks from the chair of our faculty. Then, the dean of the college will introduce our student speaker. We will then begin the awarding of diplomas to all undergraduates. It is now my pleasure to invite Michael Boyer, Associate Professor of Physics, to present our honorary degree recipient.
Mr. President, I have the great honor of presenting Dr. Wendy L. Friedman, the John and Marion Sullivan University Professor of Astronomy and Astrophysics at the University of Chicago, and one of the world's most accomplished astrophysicists, recognized internationally for her foundational contributions to modern cosmology and for her leadership of scientific projects that have fundamentally transformed humanity's understanding of the universe. Dr. Friedman, your discoveries resonate deeply within the Clark community as we mark the centennial of Clark physicist Robert H. Goddard's breakthroughs in liquid fuel rocketry that launched the space age. By exploring the nature of the cosmos, you make real what Goddard could only imagine and challenge us to think in a scope of almost unfathomable magnitude. Your leadership of the Hubble Space Telescope Key Project produced the first precise measurements of the Hubble constant, the rate at which the universe is expanding, and dramatically refined scientific understanding of the universe's scale, age, and evolution. It is knowledge that both humbles us and raises us, then compels us to turn our gaze skyward and ponder what exists beyond the stars. Your work laid the empirical foundation for what is now known as precision cosmology, helping to establish a modern framework through which scientists study dark energy, dark matter, and the dynamics of the cosmos. Through your discoveries, you have helped humanity answer some of the oldest and most profound questions. How big is the universe? How old is it? And how did it come to be? Few scientists have had a greater impact on our comprehension of the world and worlds beyond our own planet. Dr. Friedman, your research has been recognized by Time magazine, which named you among its 100 most influential people in 2025, and by the journal Nature, which included your work in its annual list highlighting the year's most significant scientific developments in 2024. You have played a central leadership role at major research institutions, including the Carnegie Science Observatories, where you oversaw the development of next-generation telescopes and expanded access to cutting-edge astronomical research. And you served as the inaugural chair of the board for the Giant Magellan Telescope project at Las Campanas Observatory in Chile. For your extraordinary achievements, you were elected to the National Academy of Sciences, the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, and the American Philosophical Society, and were awarded the National Medal of Science by President Biden. Enlightened by your research, we can now interpret what the heavens may be telling us, even as we wonder what they have yet to reveal. Mr. President, on behalf of the trustees, faculty, staff, and students at Clark University, it gives me great pleasure to request that the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa be conferred upon Dr. Wendy L. Friedman.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Clark University, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. I present you with the diploma and hood of Clark University and warmly welcome you into the company of alumni who challenge convention and change our world. Congratulations.
Thank you, President Fithian, members of the faculty, families, friends, staff, and most importantly, graduates. It is an honor to be with you here today on this most important day. I want to begin with a piece of advice that I received while preparing these remarks. My children told me, very confidently, that no one remembers a single word from a commencement speech. Apparently, at this point, I might just read my grocery list. Milk, eggs. Try not to ruin your life. But since I've been asked to speak with you for about 15 minutes, I'll put aside the grocery list and try the following. And let me start with the man many of you have heard about, but perhaps only because you attended Clark University. Nevertheless, most people in the world have never heard his name, Robert H. Goddard. His is not a household name in the way of the brothers Orville and Wilbur Wright, known for changing the world through their invention of the airplane. Yet this year, we celebrate the 100-year anniversary of Goddard's remarkable achievement. In the early 20th century, while many engineers were still trying to learn how to make airplanes more reliable, Goddard was thinking about something far more ambitious: rockets that could travel into space. He was convinced that it was possible to use liquid fuel to power rockets, and he grasped that this was the way to achieve the efficiency and control needed to escape Earth's gravity. Working here at Clark University with limited resources, he pursued an idea that most people thought impractical. He began experimenting and failing and trying again. In 1926, in a snowy field in Massachusetts, he successfully launched the world's first liquid-fueled rocket. It flew for all of 2.5 seconds. It reached a height of 41 feet, and it landed in a cabbage field. Not exactly a dramatic beginning, but that small, awkward flight proved that his fundamental idea was correct. It was the beginning of modern rocketry. At the time, however, many people decided his methods were not only wrong, but absurd. In fact, after Goddard published his research suggesting that rockets could reach the moon, the New York Times lambasted him, suggesting he lacked even a basic understanding of high school physics. They mocked the idea that a rocket could function in the vacuum of space. A man who would later be recognized as the father of modern rocketry was publicly dismissed for not understanding science. Not encouragement, but public humiliation. And now, 100 years later, we last month watched a rocket launch again, this time as part of NASA's Artemis program, designed to return humans to the moon after a 50-year hiatus, from a cabbage field to lunar and even much farther missions. It is an important reminder of the power of persistence. I think many of us, at some point, encounter our own version of Goddard's experience. Early in my career, I had been working on a problem and came to a conclusion that didn't match the accepted view in my field at the time. Moreover, my results directly contradicted those of a very prominent, very senior figure. So I checked everything, and I checked it again. I continued to get more data and checked again, and my results still held up. I imagined that our different views might lead to a thoughtful academic discussion, but that is not what happened. Instead, this individual wrote to my superiors suggesting I should not be allowed to use our telescopes. He contacted organizers of meetings where I had been invited to speak and told them I didn't know what I was doing. Not the kind of professional feedback you hope for, not exactly what a young person hopes for in a job recommendation letter. There is a moment in situations like this when you have a choice. You can quit, you can move into another area altogether, or you can continue carefully, rigorously, and persistently. So I continued. I became the leader of an international team. Our group applied for Hubble Space Telescope time, and our proposal was accepted, giving us access to unprecedented data. Over time, my early results held up, and eventually, what had started as controversial became accepted. In my own life, I have found that one of the most important lessons I learned was how to move forward in the face of uncertainty. Most people see only the final stage of achievement, the published paper, the profitable company, the accomplished career, the quote, overnight success. What they rarely see are the setbacks, the rejected manuscripts, the experiments that failed, the applications that were declined, moments of self-doubt. We need to recognize that these experiences are not evidence of failure. Rather, they are evidence that you are attempting something difficult. Experiments that do not work still teach us something. Unexpected results compel us to rethink assumptions. Setbacks refine our thinking. Uncertainty forces us to sharpen our plans. This is true not only for science, it is true in business, where innovation entails risk. It is true in relationships, where vulnerability involves uncertainty. It is true in athletics, where losses uncover weaknesses. We often imagine successful people as individuals who avoided failure, but in reality, they are often, perhaps even most often, people who learned how to keep going. A quote that I like from centuries ago, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." It is a powerful idea. Human nature is such that we likely would prefer that what stands in the way politely moves out of the way. But that life doesn't work like that. There will be obstacles. The job you don't get, the plan that doesn't work, the path that suddenly changes. These are not interruptions to your story. They are your story. You are graduating at a moment filled with uncertainty. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward." He reminds us that progress does not require perfection, but it does require motion, a message that resonates through time. You do not need ideal conditions to begin. You need the willingness to continue when progress is slow, uncertain, or unnoticed. 100 years ago, a rocket rose briefly from a cabbage patch. Today, rockets return us to the moon and take us beyond the farthest planets in our solar system. Graduates, while we are here today to celebrate your individual achievements, it is worth taking a moment to reflect on the fact that none of us arrives at a day like this on our own. Behind each one of you are the people who helped carry you on your journey. Parents and families who raised and supported you, teachers who challenged you, mentors who encouraged you, and friends who reminded you to get out of bed and get to class. Maybe. Human progress is cumulative. It is collaborative. Every generation inherits knowledge, it inherits opportunities created by those who came before. And now you are joining that continuum. Ultimately, you will become the ones to provide new knowledge, new opportunities, and encouragement for those who will follow after you. As you leave here now, you may not know exactly where you are headed, but you do know this: you can, if you choose, continue to move the world forward. Congratulations, class of 2026, and thank you.
Good morning. My name is Kristen Williams. I'm chair of the faculty and professor of political science. On behalf of the thank you. On behalf of the Clark faculty, a very hearty congratulations to you on this really wonderful day. As you know, Clark's mission is, quote, to educate undergraduate and graduate students to imaginative and contributing citizens of the world and to advance the frontiers of knowledge and understanding through rigorous scholarship and creative effort. Of importance of this commitment is to the free pursuit of inquiry and the free exchange of ideas. And academic freedom is central to knowledge production, dissemination, and consumption. In effect, knowledge is power. When thinking of knowledge as power, think of your own educational experiences at Clark, whether in the classroom, internships, study abroad, community engagement projects, archival research, or fieldwork. While you came to Clark not as a blank slate, but as a person bringing your knowledge and curiosity, you were invariably asked to ponder research questions. How? Why? Consider some of the how and why questions asked by faculty in particular fields of study and courses here at Clark. Why do people around the globe want to live and work in cities? How do refugees and migrants experience displacement? Why do ordinary people participate in atrocities? How does popular culture relate to international relations? How does gender intersect with sexuality, race, ethnicity, religion, and other social identities? How does climate affect ecosystem relationships? The knowledge you have gained from a liberal education, asking and answering those how and why questions, leads to the development and enhancement of important skills that are necessary for democracy and civic engagement: written and oral communication, critical thinking, problem solving, and qualitative and quantitative analysis. From the Association of American Colleges and Universities, quote, liberal education does not end at graduation. Instead, it fully commences then. Liberally educated graduates are poised to take their skills and proficiencies to even higher levels through practiced application and to play their part in sustaining democracy, end quote. And these are skills needed more than ever at this moment in time, given the serious challenges to democracy here in the United States and around the world. As you leave Clark, you will embark on many new and exciting adventures, a life ahead full of possibilities and promise. You are privileged to have received an education in a world of more than 8 billion people, most of whom will never have such an opportunity. And with this education comes the responsibility to yourself, to your family and friends, and the world around you towards a meaningful and productive life. The old cliche holds true: life isn't a dress rehearsal. In fulfilling this responsibility, please remember the role that Clark played. Please stay engaged with the university. Be sure to stay in touch and let us know how you're doing in the years that follow. In closing, I leave you with 2 quotes from British zoologist and primatologist Dr. Jane Goodall, quote, "What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make." And from May Carroll Jamieson, American engineer, physician, NASA astronaut, and first African-American woman in space, "Don't let anyone rob you of your imagination, your creativity, or your curiosity. It's your place in the world. It's your life. Go on and do all you can with it and make it the life you want to live." So we hope that your Clark education has emboldened you to remain lifelong learners, no matter what the future holds for you, and to remain curious. So again, on behalf of the faculty, congratulations to you, the Clark graduating class of 2026.
Thank you, Kristen. Good morning, graduates, families, and friends. My name is Lori Ross, and I am the Associate Provost for Undergraduate Studies and Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. It is my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce this year's senior speaker for the class of 2026. Even before he arrived on campus, William Stafford knew Clark was the school for him. A Florida native, he was attracted by the prospect of attending school in New England and found himself inspired by the stories he read on the Clark website about students taking distinctive paths that included launching new clubs and reimagining the goals and structures of existing student-run organizations. He believed he could do the same, and has he ever? William has been a program assistant in the Student Leadership, Identity, and Community Engagement Office, from where he co-founded and co-facilitated the Men of Color Alliance, or MOCA, which he describes as a space of spirit and a space of camaraderie. He's been a familiar and friendly presence at the information desk in the Higgins University Center. He has also served as a resident advisor and on student council, and played club basketball and co-moderated the panel of the decades, which brought together alumni of color with Clark students to share strategies for navigating their personal and professional lives. His Clark legacy includes the annual Mosaic Grill and Chill, which brings together the university's affinity groups from across campus for a community barbecue. With his sights squarely ahead, William plans to pursue a career in corporate law. Today, he will speak about the choices we make in our lives, how they help shape our trajectories, build our communities, and guide our future. I can't wait to see where his choices take him. Please join me in welcoming to the stage William Stafford.
Come on, come on, come on. Thank you so much, Dean Ross. How we doing? I just want to make sure we're good. Good afternoon, faculty, staff, families, friends, and of course, the class of 2026. As Dean Ross said, my name is William Stafford. I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and standing here amongst you all, I'm reminded that none of us arrived at this moment by accident. We're all united, and united by one thing, and that's simple yet powerful. And that thing is choice. Choice is what brought us here, and choice will be what carries us forward. When I think about choice, I don't just think about the decisions we make on a random Tuesday afternoon. I think about the choices that shape who we are at our core. I think about the people who were able to choose for us before we ever had an option to choose for ourselves. And I know that may look different for everyone in here, but for me, that starts with my parents. Yeah, say something, Mom. My parents have made the choice every single day to love me, to support me, and to believe in me even when I didn't fully believe in myself. And it's those choices that they made for my sister and I that built the foundation that have allowed me to stand up here today. So Mom and Dad, I love you. I'm also reminded of my little sister, someone I love very deeply. And if I had to do life all over again, that's a choice that I wouldn't change for the world, because I believe that love in itself is a choice as well. And it's choosing to show up, stay connected, stay present, and to choose each other over and over again. But that's the thing about choice. One thing I realized as I grew up as well is that we don't always get to choose our circumstances. We don't always get to choose the things that happen to us, but we always get to choose how we respond to them. And it's through this that I was able to arrive here in front of all of you. 4 years ago, I had the honor of serving as the first-year representative for the largest class in Clark University history. I was stepping into a role much bigger than myself, but it taught me so much about leadership. It taught me that leadership isn't about roles or titles or notoriety. It's about showing up for the people that you see amongst you. And it's about showing up for the people who support you as well. I also decided to be a resident advisor for 2 years. Can all my RAs raise their hand? Can we get a round of applause for the RAs as well? That's right, because we know that Clark would not be what it is without RLH as well as all of our staff. And quite frankly, the job wasn't always easy, I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry. But it's through this that I learned every time I showed up, every time I engaged, and every time I supported, I felt like I grew. And of course, after working at the Slice office for 3 different years, I was able to see students step into their power simply because they made the decision to try. I was able to see people represent their communities in ways they never knew possible at a school like Clark. But that's the thing, that was the choice they made, and they were able to reap all the benefits from it. And one choice that I won't regret for the world is co-founding the Men of Color Alliance, MOCA, at the Slice at Dana Commons office, a space that was built for men of color on this campus to feel supported, to engage in their communities, and to uplift each other. So please, a round of applause for my MOCA brothers as well. All of these experiences that I just named, little by little, choice by choice, they did change me. And that's the thing about choice and change. It's not always loud, it's not always dramatic, but it's little by little, choice by choice, that you see the growth and the maturation. Clark, class of 2026, we are not who we were when we first arrived here. We've grown, we've succeeded, we've struggled, and through it all, we've been shaped by the choices that we've made. But that's the thing. We're entering a world now where there won't always be a syllabus. There's not always going to be someone telling us what we should do next, but you will choose. You will choose the way that you treat people. You will choose whether to lead with fear or with courage. You will choose whether or not to step into your power or to shy away from it. But I'm here to tell you this. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that the power of choice is the power to change your life. And that choice doesn't start today or end today. It actually begins again tomorrow. So please, choose wisely. Class of 2026, congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, William. And now it is with great joy that we ask the candidates for the degree of Bachelors of Arts and Bachelors of Science, please come forward.
Erickson Adon Suero. William David Stafford IV. Isaac M. Tomejo. Diego A. Marin. Mauro A. Perez Colon. Henry E. Curbis. Amici Obiora Aduba. Luke Sheldon. Benjamin G. Siegel. Marshall W. Lind. Benjamin Jacob Whitland. Linus Isaacs. Matthew A. Culhane Williams. Braden R. Potter. Henry W. Shaw. Simone Isabel Hines. Amelia Hines. Layla Monet Vieira. Sam Ferretti. Sophie J. Lee. Charlotte D. Holder. Nolan J. Kotlier. Christian R. Drapeau. Emily Levesque. Gavin J. Cardita. Josh Kahn. Griffin Vandergenst. Daniel Rust Henderson. Prusti Joel Bangandozu. Reed Newman. Emmett George Hamilton. Daniel No. Joshua J. Talavera. Mavis E. Gordon Ozeiden. Alexander R. Hirth. Andre Tietjen.
Aiden H. Hall.
Ryan M. Cook. Wiley J. Johnson. Jared Vazana. Samuel Levine. Jonah L. Lee. Abigail Gallagher. Gabriela Lilo Harivo. Alexandra G. Cachapalia. Elizabeth G. Cachapalia. Allison N. Kopek. Lucas C. Kuda. Braden J. Granger. Brett Allen Newman. Thomas F. Michaud. Patrick J. O'Rourke. Kyle J. Palmieri. Will Secord. Max M. DeRosa. Sam Zalkin. Nate Edwards Rosenay. Andy Latta. Josh B. Lechtson. Philip P. Tierney. Hayes Dixon. August R. Wagoner. Carter Peterson. Haley M. Sullivan.
Nason Trottier.
Paige Zajac. Allison P. Kimball. Aiden Joseph Conrad. Charles Schmertzler. Olivia G. Thompson. Emmy Ingrid Udry. Siobhan M. Connolly. Abigail Gahagan. Madison Dillon. Noah Katz. Jack D. Bronk. Rosa L. Newshore. Tom Nee. Raymond Zhang. Maliwan Banyan. Marcus Palumbo. Meridian Stiller. Cami Juliana Ratskin. Phoenix Beveridge. Gwen Catherine Balshius. Julia B. Castor. Hu Meng Liu. Anna Lee. Noah Hunt. Annette Eileen Martinson. John V. De Andrade. Paige Webster. Isabel Erin Schiller. Muriel Kane. Chrissy Patel. Anastasia Salazar. Nicole Lalangui Ponce. Jake Bernstein. Graham Philip Russo. Eddie Shepard Johnson. Fergus J.R. Brady. Saini Heel Chanda. J.J. Gifford. Neil Anand Kumar. Indigo R. Cataret. Kelechi C. Akabug. Vivian L. Dang. Bianca Ren Brzezinski. William A. Titus. Eva Rose Rue. Andrew A. Reeder. Isaac S. Hayner. Braden G. Hollenrake. Jake O'Donnell. Dominic Mariani. Nico Minardi. Alfonso Shalil. Andy Delgado Laverde. Maya Lily Guttridge. Leslie S. Fuentes. Halak Galeria. Grace Misan Foos. Nina Redchenko Hanafin. Jessica Oceano Palabukala. Borodine Sherry. Ariana Navarro. Rudy Friso Humanzor. Joanne Fang. Mary Rose Poirier. Ronan Wolf. Maya Patton. Mindy Engo. Vu Tuan Nguyen. Ivan Medina. Ralph E. Chimbo. Andy R. Chimbo. Theodore James Benoit. Jacqueline Elise Torres Stone. Emma Shaughnessy. Aaron Slavin. Felicia Savati. Samantha N. Golden. Kytriona Andre. Brooke Elizabeth Buzzio. Hadley Hogue. Ona Gordonson. Julia Callisto. Daniela Yanes. Olivia Bogle. Camilla Caitlin Vitola Franchi. Nix E. Gentile. Aster Megan. Autumn R. Allard. Alex Katz. Victoria Arquagenti. Simon C. Bissett. Matthew J. Williams. Owen Chase. Madeline Edith Siciliano. Nola Sue Hadley. Joseph Robleski. Kai Adkins Moore. Michael W. Soares. Connor L. Schmautz. Jake Falkenham. Joseph Samuel Winnicor. Aaron A. Farrell. Cadence Schrader.
Infinity E. Ocampo.
Emily Ruth Bunker. Allison R. Civilicus. Julia Rose Kaiser. Una Caneli. Thalia Soleil Diaz. Annalise A.J. Popolo. Monique Anita Sai. Bia Angela N. Mahalalov. Amy D. Wynn. Mary Elizabeth Tran. Summer Ahmed Koso. Erica Che. Ebian Shire. Kenda Mahmoud Hassan. Dionelis Isabel Texidor Rivera. Nicole Quinones. Nathan A. Clark. Alexander Vaf Donato. Cole M. Gushy Nelson. Jacob Sanwald. Maggie Matthews. Carmela R. Martone. Amelia K. Clark. Isabella Bishop. Maddie Louise Matava Pickering. Josephine Libinati. Brenna Mary Gelati. Audrey Stella Brooke Webb. Andrew B. Herendine. Chloe Halverson. Mayen Le Vu. Hannah Mutasib. Raina G. Aaliyah. Ivan Sedlock. Tenzin Norton Summer. Miranda Gabriel Vanderbilt. Lainey A. Hatch. Red H. Sinek. Robert Matskin. Adriana Astor I. Ford. Hannah Gilvard. Victoria Golemo. Abigail Coe. John E. Kennedy. Jaden Gombos. Sophia Swartz. Zara Malkassian. Rachel A. Molnar. Serena Chor Yi Ting. Madison Durick. Sophia Pollack. Tyler M. Fort. Andrew P. Damaris. Amelia R. Kulzer. Nicole Weiss. Michelle Alexandra Abruzese. Brandy Ulesi Mercado Montañez. Heiner Badilla Sanchez. Morgan Paris. Carla Cayone. Lily Sargis Kripp. Alexander A. Wynn. Kyle L. Prestis. Win Chen. Kaya Banka. Giovanna Jonich. Anthony J. Fernelli. Juliette M. Ekborg. Rebecca Jane Solomon. Anji Bowie. Maeve B. Lagorce. Ariel Sintali Wayma. Eleanor A. Sharp. Ruben V. Glassenberg. Mio Lubares Takei. Tunvi Sengupta. Ryan Saboya. Ana Gabriela Quinteru Santana. Mikhail Kaiser Shahabuddin. Abhishri Gupta. Sanvi Singh. Yu Kosaka. Turna Barua. Tamaya Amari Francois. Allison Aponte Polanco. Sarah Parvin. Fiona Mary Stenbeck. Maggie Catherine Connors. Evelyn Marie Selzer. Mia Tuies. Cassidy Hubbard. Emma C. McIntyre. Jenna R. Beauchesne. Kyron R. Cubbage. Christina X. Buey. Victoria Rose Holden. Kenny G. Cook III. Joaquim Luiz de Oliveira Coelho Margetson. Caroline A. Honorado. Brody D. Fish. Ezieldin Mohammed. Eleanor Rowland. Sarah T. Lucas. Leah Bibula. Isabel M. Gomez. Antonina Price. Kenzie Young. Sophie Levengood. Hazel Jane Hurley. Sophia Majid. Morgan F. Glick. Larissa N. Lenke. Catherine Ann Placido. William Setlick. Kira Langus. Lawrence T. Mendez. Kaylin Elizabeth McGuigan. Iomide Ajala. Emma Ruth Allen. Ivy G. Joyle. Gaia M. Lennox. Sydney H. McRae. Aiden Grinovix. Avery C. Schwartz. Daniel Paul Smith. Vivian Young. Jake C. Genitosio. Dana T. Wax. Daria Pruitt. Ian Quinn. Riley Sabina Schmidt. Ava E. Parody. Zachary D. Powell. Kavi M. Francis. Jacob Micah Vetstein. Jonathan Taman. Vasilisa Ermolaeva. Magdalena G. Bartel. Alyssa N. Briggs. Sophia Waldman. Catherine Rose Burns. Lauren Gallagher. Brexton E. Getchell. Riaz Jamal. Noah Zeidman. Bridget Leanne Garcia. Daniela Geraldine Quiroga. Amelia Kelly Lancer. Emily Dunsmore. Amanda Laurel Perry. Anna Elise Simonini. Callie McCarthy. Caleb Howard. Molly S. Bowe. Maya A. Albornoz Zeidel. Nathaniel Jonti. Alexandra Mateni. Penelope Papadimitriou. Rachel Duffy. Angel O. Ramirez. Rebecca A. Gilbert. Quinn Feddick. Leah S. Shankman. Madeline A. Sullivan. Kavindi P. Pereira. Molly Burke. Jade Faulkner. Paige M. Tangnay. Samantha Kokenauer. Lila Elizabeth Guzowski. Natasha Anderson Devlin. Jessica T. Lum. Sarah Almozani. Jaden Lewis. Jordan Madeline Cambry. Anna Elizabeth Kavanaugh. Silas Schwartz. Gwyneth Owen. Madison G. McCloskey. Reese Viquez. Isla Butler. Tobias Simmons. Ali Rizvi. Nico A. Carrillo. Simon Garmisa Pinchbeck. Sondro Colantonio. Zoe Black. Logan Page Bullock. Laisha Alexander Urena. Virginia Maria Crispin Garcia. Luke Woodard Cadria. Louis Nicolo Rosenberg. Gabriel Magnus Schmick. Zemaine J. Abney. Maxwell Anthony Jong Silva. John Sales. Carly O'Connell. Abigail A. Phillips. Ben F. Klein. Will Ripke. Christopher J. Skelton. Jameson D. Brothers. Paulina Allen. Allie E. Feria. Emma Pauline Batt. Isabella M. Batts. Nicholas G. DeLugos. Udipto Nandi. Benji H. Cam. Michael A. Goodwin. Pihu Agrawal. Olivia Noel Palici. Theodore H. King. Helena Soderstrom. Riley Hannah Johnson. Liliana Theresa Dorothy Becker Benton. Theo Potier. Gianna Rose Fasulo. Alyssa V. Swibble Martinez. Porter Orvetti. Kayla A. Krieger. Melina Abachoglu. Jason Y. Chen. Blake I. Shea. Max N. Miller. Milo Justice. Elliot Edwards. Miles R. Rodericks. Eli Henry Burgess. Aaron David McCall. Hunter Bishop. Lizbeth Hernandez. Cole S. Torres. Sumaira Gunduz. Azra Taubije Ozen, Grace Ann Clemente, Maxwell M. Zhao, Chimamaka Courtney Obiajulu, Marina Sacco, Lauren Nicole Merrican, Sydney Marie Lyons, Chloe Johanna Venkatachalam, Miles Mitchell Rilejo, Tygan O. Hoff, Haley Candeas Pelicano, Alexandra Patricia Harris, Abby C. McCormick, Youngsa E. San, On Steimel, Jimmy Kearns, Jonah D. Kipnis, Noah J. Engvall, Autumn R. Moxley, Blake Kiara Boyle, Giorgio No, Deanna Stoskova, Darlene I. Polanco Molina, Ryder Ivanek, Juliana Reynolds, Nicole Ucher, Chelsea Goodman, Ketchely A. Falomi, Hannah Gale, Wynn Collins, Nicholas Cordell, Mbonye Clement, Faith R. Field, Jennifer M. McKernan, Noah Kleinberg, James P. Busterud Jr., Arthur Peixoto, Julia Ray Head, Jackie Wallace, Chase Michael Christ Susi, Aria Cranford, Riley T. Garzella, Kara Grimes, Ayla Rubenstein, Kayleen J. Criollo, D'Angelo E. Blair, Isaac Perkis, Savannah J. Hernandez, Megan M. Curley, Martin Radwell, Julia Hozek, Alexa McPherson, Lauren E. Kelty, Evelyn E. Simone, Ariana Piliteri, Navy Vela, Kylie B. Gomes, Marissa Hazel, Tyler M. Silverman, Morgan T. Brown, Lauren Root, Ryan A. McDowell, Leo Kurtz, Alyssa Thien Kim Tran, Caden Mentree Pham, Elizabeth Forrest, Samantha Ficano, Aiden Daniel Humphreys, Nathaniel Kidd, Carson Michael Dobis. Eva Sanchez Novitsky. Abigail Koevi. Madison V. Dirks. Lily Gabrielle Summerfield. Christopher K. Sims. Maxwell Artem Bonchek. Samuel D. Szymanski. Sam Clark. Xander M. Haddock. Tyler C. Harmon. James Sheridan. Ty Gampel. Sean Cahill. Melissa De Selva Bento. Rhea Gobert-Hahn. Aiden Derrick. Ella Lauren Stampy. John A. Carrington. Daniel J. Zawacki III. Gavin M. Forbes. Henry A. Sims. Abby Leaf. Nick Smith. Gemma L. Salisbury. Daniel J. Higgins Leon. Oliver Alyssa Hamlet. Mara Rose Johnson Litton. Renee Nathalie Jolicoeur Molesworth. Bao Win. Lillian Robin White. Catherine C. Zanino. Adiel R. Rodriguez. Mace L. Klassen. Hamza A. Musharraf. Quinn Chang Martin. Nehemiah Torres Pacheco. Thomas M. Dinia. Kevin G. Davis. Ian Yasso. Tyler Longest. Victoria Celeste Martins. Kaylin Elaine Brown. Sean Papayao Asante Sego. Maeve Singatat. Kayla A. Rishano. David Arlos Vio. Antonio E. Lopez Doherty. Abigail Reisman. Anna Haug. Annie Overbaugh. Tokyo Machida. Molly Elizabeth Zack. Annika M. Tweetball. Kylie E. McDonald. Devlin Ivy Geisler. Vesper Cardoso Holmes. Miles N. Bell. Catherine M. Noroyan. Noel Schroeder. Jacqueline Franchosi. Mia Cerrone. Jack M. Tycody. David Liberatori. Tara Rahman Rengert. Ben Seidenberg. Alen Kotolkian. Rowan Bennett Turner. Alzamora Kwan. Preston K. Smith. Sabine Rose Gordon. Cassidy H. Palis. Ari Smith. Sarah Rose V. Snaith. Ariana A. Cotto. Maxine R. Monroe. Kiana M. Burden. Isabella Galindo. Ciara V. Hutley Waldron. Olivia Manjari.
Jeremiah De Jesus.
Sam M. Keene. Matthew James Donahue. J.Y. Joe. Will Q. Brothers. Alexander X. Vu. Sophie Held. Alexandra T. Ullman. Eunice Ama Agnes Arte. Onyx Rothman. William Sherman Pulvino. Derek Fino. Elizabeth J. Schmerzler. Grom Castagna Reynolds. Raul Pezes Martins. Danny J. Fredette. Alec E. Darrow. Pritish Raj. Afnan Syed. Zoe Missoula. Sky Donaldson. Jasleen Carr. Eloise Sachs. Sarah Nim. Phoebe S. Rivaker. Dylan Edward Gross. Will L. Holian. Nia Tate Green. Pamela Asu. Jason Iafredi. Liangyi Hall Trask. Astra R. Koblenz. Hadis Brownstein. Shoshana Hirschman. Devin Francis Gork Moss. Kane Davies. J.D. Cogliano. Molly Nguyen. Yahaira Bonilla Lucero. Ana Yadira Ganon Chavez. Muhua Wu. Julia Barnes. Imani Taylor. Kendall Clark. Diola O. Ofure. Emily Spence. Elizabeth Franklin. May Juare Armstrong McDade. Gabriela Asuramu. Liam J. Quinn. Nu Tran. T. Nin.
With great pleasure and in the favoring presence of those here assembled, we now turn to the process of conferring the baccalaureate degrees. Will all the candidates for the baccalaureate degree please rise and be recognized? President Fithian, on behalf of the faculty, I have the honor to present the candidates for and recent recipients of the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science. I declare that each candidate has fulfilled all the requirements of the university for the degree and request that the degree be conferred upon each of them.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I do hereby confer upon you the baccalaureate degrees as indicated, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. I express the hope that this, your first degree, will inspire a lifetime of learning. Congratulations. Please be seated.
Graduates, you may now turn your tassels from the right to the left.
As we close today's ceremony, I would first like all of the faculty here to please rise and ask everyone in the arena to thank and recognize Clark's incredible faculty. Thank you. Today's exercises are a time-honored tradition that not only recognize individual achievement, but also institutional history and the relationship between the two. As I noted at the beginning, each of you arrived at Clark by a different path, but today you leave here united in one enduring way. You are now all graduates of Clark University. And as such, it is my great honor to welcome you into the brilliant company of Clark alumni. Fiat Lux, may the light of Clark long illuminate your path. I now declare the 121st commencement exercises of Clark University closed. Please remain seated for the recession.